Welcome, everybody, to the San Francisco Giants podcast. I am Ryan. Let's kick back, relax, talk a little bit about the San Francisco Giants. This could be a big week for them. Look for them to probably add somebody in free agency, perhaps a starting pitcher. And hey, who knows, a trade could pop out of nowhere. But I know what you guys all wanted to start with was our boy Aubrey Huff, who we talked about on, I believe it was the last episode of the podcast, where we talked about how Aubrey Huff deleted his social media accounts after he slid into the DMs of a female and she exposed him. Well, our boy Aubrey Huff is back. Proud father of two-time World Series champion with the San Francisco Giants.
Bruce.
Cameo connoisseur. In fact, wants you to click on that link to help support his alimony payments. So for the low price of $100, you could book your own personal video with our boy Aubrey Huff. So maybe we'll have to do that someday if this podcast ever makes a little bit of money. Maybe we'll have to click on that Cameo link and help support the alimony payments of our boy Aubrey Huff. But on today's show, besides Aubrey Huff, we will touch on Shota Imanaga, somebody who was in the rotation. Not really. Actually, Gabe Kapler kind of jerked him around last year and brought him out of the bullpen. Shota Imanaga signed with the New York Mets. Donovan Walton, oh no, has re-signed on an minor league deal with the San Francisco Giants. We'll briefly touch on that. Imanaga's signing deadline is this week. Who? We'll get into that. Is he a candidate for the San Francisco Giants? Certainly, they've been linked to him. He has a deadline to sign by Thursday. So we'll get into that, and we'll touch briefly back on the Robbie Ray trade, since we've had a couple days to digest and figure out what is going on. But one guy who will not be back with the San Francisco Giants is Shota Imanaga. He lands on a 2-year deal with the New York Mets for $28 million. You remember that he opted out, I believe it was of about $12 million with the San Francisco Giants. So kudos to him for getting a little bit more money. You remember that last year when he signed with us, he was probably slated to be, a fourth or fifth starter for us, but Gabe Kapler kept jerking him in and out of the bullpen. They'd start some kind of opener. Now, Manaea, the second half of the year, actually really pitched well for us. That's probably why he was able to opt out, get a little bit more money for the Mets. So we certainly wish him well, but hopefully against us, we hit several home runs against him, and he absolutely sucks. You know who absolutely sucked for us last year was Donovan Walton, but he is back. He re-signs with us on a minor league deal, so don't worry about him taking up, I guess, a roster spot as of now. 29 years old. You remember last year in 24 games and 76 at-bats, he hit a measly 158, 1 home run, 8 RBIs, mostly at second base and shortstop. I thought his defense was average, I guess I could say, but every time this guy came up to the plate, it seemed like he was going to make an out. So hopefully he doesn't get too many at-bats with us this year, or that would be really, really bad for us.
They are what they are. And
what may not be bad for us is this guy, Shota Imanaga. He has a deadline to sign by Thursday. And what's probably happening with this Imanaga thing is he's holding up kind of the free agent pitching market, because guys like Snell, guys like Jordan Montgomery, lesser players than that, are waiting to see what Imanaga is going to get. Throws left-handed, 5'10", 176. Spent a whole bunch of years, 8, in fact, in the foreign leagues. 1,100 strikeouts on about as many innings, 2.96 ERA. Doesn't walk a whole lot of guys, 300 walks. 300 career walks in 1,100 innings seems fairly reasonable there. Looks like he's probably going to land on maybe like a 4 or 5 year deal in the neighborhood of $100 million. So about $20 million annually. And you can see that's what we're paying Robbie Ray, perhaps over the next 3 seasons, $24 million. And then Robbie Ray has an option for 2025 at $25 million and 2026 for $25 million. And you can see when we extended Logan Webb, the last 3 years of his deal are going to be $23 million, which actually seem like a bargain considering how well he has pitched. Ross Stripling, for example, makes $15 million. So if we sign a guy like Imanaga, who's 30 years old, going on 31, to a 4 to 5 year deal worth $100 million, I guess I don't have a problem with that, considering we do need some starting pitching. You traded DeSclafani. Robbie Ray is going to be on the injured list until perhaps the All-Star break. Alex Cobb, who pitched exceptionally well for us last year, had hip surgery. Who knows when he's going to be back? He's probably not going to be ready to start the year. He's also 36 years old on the last year of his deal, earning $10 million this year. So who knows what you get out of Alex Cobb coming off the surgery. He had a great year for us last year, but boy, could be asking a lot for him to repeat that this year. We do have Ross Stripling coming back. He opted into his $15 million deal. He probably makes the rotation. We have younger players like Ryan Walker, like Keaton Wynn. Obviously, we got a taste of the Kyle Harrison experience. So he's somebody who probably makes the rotation. So outside of Logan Webb, though, you really don't know how the rest of the rotation will fall in line, considering that you do have Robbie Ray, you do have Alex Cobb starting the year on the DL. So big decisions coming this week. Does Imanaga land with an MLB team? My guess is he does, and that could happen sometime before Thursday. As soon as he signs, look for some of the other pitchers on the market, Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery, and the other pitchers. Any of the other free agent pitchers also probably start making their decisions. The Giants certainly could add a starter or two to this roster to make me feel comfortable, to make the fans feel comfortable, to make new manager Bob Melvin feel comfortable. Otherwise, we might be having to use a mix of openers and kind of some random guys and maybe some guys that aren't as good and we don't feel as confident in as fourth or fifth starters to begin the year. And we can circle back and now talk about this Robbie Ray trade a little bit. Hey, and it does leave our starting rotation a little bit in flux because you gave up DeSclafani, who apparently hadn't dropped a piano bench on his toe and probably was ready to start the year for you. Robbie Ray is hurt. He's on the IL. He probably won't be back till the All-Star break. You also give up Mitch Haniger, so it does clear an outfield spot for you. So does that clear the way for the Giants to sign somebody like Cody Bellinger? That's one thing that the trade probably did open up, is that it either opens up a potential spot in the outfield for maybe one of your younger players. I heard that Farhan mentioned something about Heliot Ramos. He mentioned something about Luis Matos. He's probably just trying to pump those guys up. But my guess is the Giants are probably looking at other options, either on the free agent market or the trade market for an outfielder. I don't have any problem with this deal, especially if Robbie Ray comes back this year and pitches somewhat decent for us. He's equivalent to maybe like a number 3 starter for us. Lord have mercy if he pitches as well as a number 2 starter for us. He probably actually opts out of the remaining 2 years of his deal if he does come back and pitch well. So he's actually got a lot of personal motivation, professional motivation to come back and pitch well in the second half of the year, because then he could probably opt out of his deal, the remaining 2 years and about $44 million left on his deal, and probably get a larger sum of that in free agency, either from the Giants or for somebody else. So big professional year for Robbie Ray. You know, he's looking to come back, and the Giants themselves, big week for them. Do they land Imanaga on a 4 to 5 year deal, probably at around $100 million? They've certainly been linked to him. I've heard the Angels been linked to him and some other teams. So we will see. My guess is the Imanaga domino falls first, and then the Boris clients, Montgomery and Blake Snell, fall second. So we will see. We will stay tuned to Aubrey Huff's Twitter account as he tries to make his alimony payments via Cameo. And guys, we will see you later, no matter what happens with the San Francisco Giants this week, and we will see you soon.